Welcome to another episode of the YGC Collective, the podcast where we're bringing you mini episodes every single week leading up to our second annual YGC Collective. I am one of your hosts, Giovanna Burgess-Waite, with my co-host.
Hello, I'm Yvette Valnegro. So happy to be here and so excited for today.
I know. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. This is our 8th or 9th podcast for the collective. And what we did last year, people loved. We're doing it again this year. We took a pause on our regular podcast, and all we're doing is every single week, we're bringing you an industry expert or a roundtable panelist of the 4 topics in our conference this year. And today we're bringing on business roundtable panelist, Kirstin Brenders. We're so excited to have her on. Before we bring her on, if you need to go back, we have a playlist on YouTube. So easy, hit play, and then just watch these little 10, 15-minute episodes so that you can get to know the experts, get to know the speakers before you come to the conference this year.
Okay, she is business, but let's just say it's business and entrepreneurship. The other categories are health and aging gracefully, fashion, money.
Yes. So health, wealth, business, aging gracefully, and fashion. So today we're going to bring on Kirstin, and she is going to talk a little bit about her. Hi, Kirstin.
Yay.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be with you guys.
We're excited to have you.
Yeah.
It's very, very exciting. Okay, we know you super well, but we want everybody else to know you. So please just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and I don't know, whatever you want to share.
Sure. So Kirstin Brenders, I am an online business manager and a mentor. And what that means is I help women entrepreneurs start and grow their small businesses. I came to this after pivoting out of corporate. So I like to say I'm a corporate escapee and leading my own business from my own home office, or in this case, out and about in Houston.
I love it. Okay, and I think I would just want to say side comment because we do know you so well.
Yes.
You have been a past YGC client, and you blossomed and bloomed and morphed, and just watching you now is like, it brings so much joy. So we know that you come from a place of also mindfulness. It's not for you. It's not just about business. It's not just about the list and the checkoffs and all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So just, I guess what's really important too, is because at the conference, we are coming from more of a holistic woman, that we're all a whole being, and that we're not just a wife, just someone working. We're not just in corporate. We're not just a mom. We're we're all very dynamic individuals. So that mindfulness obviously brings in thought leadership and just opening our minds to more. So you want to just share a little bit first about that shift for you, or just how that's even been able to play into what you're doing now?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think of what I've learned is that we are more than one role. We're not just what we do. And I think where I met you guys on my journey was, who am I if I'm not doing this? And this was something I did for, 15 plus years. And so it was a shift for me to start thinking of myself differently, and or discovering like I'm more than just one role, and what is that, right? And pursuing something out of, with kind of intention and more in line with purpose. And so I like to say I'm actually an accidental entrepreneur. I didn't leave corporate to become an entrepreneur. It was just the solution that I came to when I decided to reshift my career and, create something that was better aligned with my values, with my strengths, and like you said, whole harmony, just something that was like less hustle, way more calm. And that's how I stepped into entrepreneurship myself. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so how does that transform now into what you're doing and what you offer?
Yeah. So, speaking of that, it kind of evolved out of burnout, right? Me leaving corporate was something that I just experienced was burnout. And kind of the problem that I solve and help with other women is I don't want you to be on that burnout train. I don't want any women or a woman to experience that, right? And so what I do is I kind of have a dual purpose role in my company, and I kind of solve the problem of doing it all alone, right? Like you don't have to do it all alone. I come from a corporate background, so I know that teamwork, that the best things are created out of collaboration and not in isolation. So I serve two kinds of women that will be at the conference. So I call them the pivoters. I have the women that were like me, right, are in corporate, they're feeling that tug, or they're hearing that voice of maybe there's something else, like there has to be something else for me beyond this traditional role. And so I help them step into entrepreneurship with confidence, clarity, and a starting plan. And then for what I did initially, it was take out, my experience from the corporate world. And I like to say I brought like big business to small business world, and I help the builders. So on the online business management part, I help the women who have already built their businesses, who've already established, know what they're doing, know what they're going after. They have the vision. I come in, I help them by stepping into their business, acting like a sounding board. And I'm a doer, I'm an implementer. I like to plan. I'm a planner at heart. So I have this knack of like hearing a vision and creating a blueprint and creating a step for us to then go and grow a business. And again, it's about not checking a box, but growing it with clarity and growing it with calm, purpose, and intention.
Oh my God, I love that.
Music to our ears.
It's definitely music.
And music to the people listening to your ears, because that is a problem. We tend to do things, the checklist, and we're not thinking, is this really serving the greater good for myself and my purpose? And it always is. The first thing people usually ask us is, how am I going to do this? How? Like, right? We're so quick to do all the hows. That comes after you realize, like you said, you definitely know like your bandwidth of being like a super woman and what your strengths are. And that's what you're teaching other people, right? But you're coming from that clarity and purpose side of, it doesn't have to be chaotic. You don't have to be overwhelmed. You don't have to be stressed out. And you're the perfect example of changing all that in your life and then showing and guiding people how to actually do it with systems and, like you said, the roadmap and the plan, because visions can be big.
Yes.
But if you don't have that backbone, you may be a giant, but if you don't have the backbone, how are you going to support that big giant and that big vision?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one of the things that I definitely learned, like you meeting you guys along my journey, right? But something that I've definitely learned is that it is when you bring on support, whether that is hiring, outsourcing, hiring a mentor, hiring a coach, I just find that when you bring on another individual, that your dreams become bigger than you. And that was a very big reflection that I had this past year with doing things in my business with outsourcing. That just brought me so much joy, and just this feeling of like things are becoming bigger than what I initially envisioned for my own business. Yeah.
And that's a community side of it too, because when you are linked up with other people and you just, like you just said, your vision becomes bigger than you. Right? One that stretches you. Mm-hmm. You have this, you're like, how am I need to change on the inside in order to fulfill that. But then you're broadening your community, the people that you know, just, I don't know. There's just so many things that go with that, with the community, which is the conference side of things.
Yeah.
Bringing 200 women together to hear amazing people like you, for you to give all the gems, and for them to have that sense of, and I know when they listen to you, they're going to go, I do feel a sense of, this is bigger than me. And I do have a big dream that I want to fulfill. And I want to have a supporting cast, someone like yourself, to help me do it.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yes. Oh, it is such a magical experience too, as also as somebody who did the conference last year, as an attendee. It was like I said, I walked away with it like hands down the best conference that I've ever went to in my whole adult life, right? Like my whole profession. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this.
To bring you in this year and have you be part of the community and part of the change and part of the movement. We didn't talk about so many other things that I love, that we both love that you do. Obviously, the gift of time and time management, because when people are starting businesses, and I loved how you talked about the pivoter and the builder. But I think this is all the things that women don't see when building a business. They don't hear, they're not educated about. So we are not going to give them any more because they have to come see you. But we want to thank you for being on. Anywhere you're watching, you can follow Kirstin on social media. And we also have her website if you want to get to know a little bit about her more, or even book a consultation before you even come to the collective. Kirstin, thank you for being on. We're so thankful that you are part of this year's conference, and appreciate you being on today.
Yes, thank you so much, you guys. See you soon.
Bye. I'm so excited.
It is hard to not share.
I know. I'm like, we can do like long podcasts. So we're going to stop here. Go back if you haven't. We have 8 other episodes. We've already had 5 other panelists on the podcast. The goal here is, if you're attending or thinking about attending, this is where you come and meet the experts, you come and meet the panelists, so that when you get to the conference on August 20th, they are literally giving you all the gems. And this is also a way for you, like we say, to stalk them. So go stalk them, follow them on socials, get to know them a little bit better. A lot of these women have online communities, in-person events before. So it's a great way for you guys to get to know them before you even get to the collective.
Yes. And get your tickets before they sell out. And then you get mad at us because there wasn't enough room. And I do want to say too, do not forget the other side of the grant. If you want to contribute to the grant, there is a link on our website. That'll always remain open up until the conference. And do not forget, if you decide you want to contribute $300 or more, you do get a voice as to who you want to nominate to get that grant. And if you are listening, you're like, wait, what grant? We're going to be giving away a financial grant, no strings attached, to a local businesswoman within our communities. And we'll present it there that day. And that could be you.
I know. So everything that we are talking about, you can find on our website. Tickets are on sale. There are only 10 VIP left. We still have general admission. If you need questions, you know where to find us. And we'll be back on next week with another expert or another panelist. Until then,
bye.